Appreciate it.
Mercedes! Finally! There you are.
Ah, Ferdinand. Why are you so short of breath?
I just wanted to show you something.
What's this? Oh.
Yes, these are financial records that I recovered from your adoptive father. They proved that when he adopted you, large sums of money changed hands.
Where did you come across these?
I stealthily made my way into Ferdiad and looked around his estate. It was easy. That kind of thing is no trouble for an intrepid young noble such as myself.
That's amazing! I mean, amazingly irresponsible. I can't believe you put yourself at risk for my benefit. I really wish you wouldn't do such things.
No, I did it for my benefit. I could not help myself. With these documents, we can show everyone what a scoundrel your adoptive father really is. His noble aspirations will be crushed. The lord of the region will probably rescind his adoption contract. In other words, you will be free. Here, take them. Do with them what you will.
Do you really believe these will set me free?
Yes, of course. You will be free to decide your own path in life and go wherever your heart leads you.
That does sound nice, but... I'm sorry, Ferdinand, but I think you should hold on to the documents.
Why? Is this not what you want?
I've lived so much of my life following everyone else's lead, so much so that I've come to terms with it. It's almost unavoidable at this point. But with these, I could regain my freedom and change all that.
You baffle me. Do you not wish to be free?
Of course I do. Let me try that again in a way you might understand. Ahem. A true noble cuts their own path, seizing freedom from the clutches of tyranny.
I cannot argue with that. Fine then. I will hold on to the documents.
But I'm really very happy that you're so concerned with my well-being, Ferdinand. It means so much to me that you went through all that trouble on my behalf.
Of course, Mercedes. The smile on your face is well worth the effort.
You there!
Ah, is there something I can do for you, Constance?
Is there something you can do? Of course there is.
Well, what is it?
It ought to be plain.
I do not follow. Please, clarify what you mean.
Have you forgotten the day I revealed to you my silly little dream? If you weren't paying attention, I shall be cross.
Oh, yes. You must be referring to the oblique request you made concerning peaks and valleys. Not seeing a peak ahead of you, you hoped I might help lift you out of your lowly
Precisely. You've summed it up completely. Now that you know of what I speak, I want you to forget it immediately. Act as if you heard nothing.
You want me to forget the occasion you just asked me to remember. I see. Before I discard this memory entirely, might I be so bold as to ask why?
Is it not obvious? I don't want my weakness bandied about. I vowed to restore House Nouvelle through my own grand achievement. Just as I would not abandon this dream, I would not accept it being handed to me. Though if I am to be quite honest, the real reason is that letting you in on this vulnerability was an indiscretion I won't repeat.
I see. What a curious situation.
I don't take your meaning.
The hand of fate stripped everything from me, leaving me vulnerable and exposed. To borrow your words, I was in a valley, and a thick shroud of fog obscured the peak before me. Now, The cloud has lifted a bit, and I can see a glimpse of what lies ahead.
And what, dare I ask, do you see?
There is a towering cliff for you to scale, and a long, rocky path lying ahead of me. Rather than ascending separately, we can join hands and face these obstacles together. Then, we can reach the heights of our forebears. Or, dare I say, even higher.
Even higher, you say? Now you remind me once more of the boy I knew. I have but one concern.
And what might that be?
That I shall outpace your laggardly efforts.
Huh? I was being sincere, you know.
Huh? Caspar? Whatever is he doing here? Oh no. Is he looking for a fight with someone taller than him? The poor boy won't give up.
This is it. Today's my day. Caspar's day. Come get some.
Yes, Caspar, just like that. Just as we practiced. Yes, dodge. Yes, perfect. Right there. He's open. Punch him right in the... Yes, Caspar, you did it.
And that's how it's done. Woo! And then I got him. Bam! Right in the solar plexus. Oh, I really wish you could've... Hey, are you even listening? This is when it starts getting real good.
I'm listening. I am sad to say, however, that the tale is slightly less thrilling the fourth time through.
You should be more excited. We finally won.
We?
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without your advice. You're a strategic genius, Linhardt.
Nonsense. Your strength carried the day. I just rambled on. You're the one who did the actual work. What's really amazing is how you wouldn't give up.
Whoa, I've never heard you compliment me before. Yeah, I don't think I like it. Seriously, though, I couldn't have done it without you. Like you said, I wouldn't give up on fighting, and I'm not gonna give up on this either.
I should have expected that, I suppose. That's just the kind of guy you are, after all. I guess this friendship is something that we can never escape from. Ever.
Are you saying you want to escape from our friendship?
Not at all. Even if I did, our fates would not be so easily untangled.
You got that right. No one can break this bond. Even if we argue and butt heads sometimes. We'll never have to fight it out. And that's a promise.
Understood. I don't desire to fight anyone anyway. This war is the last time I'll set foot on a battlefield.
Well, that makes sense.
Let's you and I come out the other side of this war alive and well, okay? That is a promise worth making.
Definitely. And let's win this thing while we're at it.
Ugh, this path isn't the right way either. Why do epic quests always involve a lot of legwork?
Well, Abyss is a big place. Maybe it's time to start on your next epic quest. Giving up and going home. People are dying up there after all. We don't have time for this sort of thing.
What sort of thing? You? I'd say you're way more important than the pursuit of war. More interesting, too.
Yeah, and the next big thing in Christology. How flattering. You gotta stop saying things like that or someone might get the wrong idea. Lucky for you, I'm used to your weirdness by now.
I'm sorry my sincerity rubbed you the wrong way. I meant what I said, but that's fine. Now, back to your ability. I've discovered that this power can be attributed to your blood. The magic originates from your crest. There have been leaps and bounds in research on summoning magic focused on an arbitrary target. The only remaining problems are perception and distance, though it could be argued that...
Blah, blah, big words, blah. I don't even get what you're saying.
You don't have to understand it to appreciate its implications. Here's the connection. Once we understand your power, it's essential that we have a theoretical grasp on how to control it.
All right, I'll do my best.
That isn't as scientific as what I had in mind.
I'll probably need your help wrapping my head around the theoretical stuff. You up for that? No pressure. Well, people might die if you say no, so some pressure, I guess.
Huh? Why me? I guess it can't be helped. I suppose foisting this task on Professor Hanneman would be a waste of my precious efforts. This isn't what I had in mind, but I guess I'm the only man for the job, come to think of it.
Sounds great. Hey, if you're tired, there's no shame in calling it a day and heading back to the surface.
It's more walking than I expected. I've lost sleep over this. But you're way more important than a... Oh, right. You don't like me when I'm sincere. Well, let's get on with the adventure then. We'll check out that hidden passage next. We've got to find that book that Timotheus is said to have left behind. Come along.
Fine. But what if we don't find the book, and you can't figure out a way to solve this?
I've come this far. Now I've got to see it through to the end. How will I ever nap in peace otherwise?
Sounds like we might be stuck together for a while.
Hey, Petra. How's training going?
It is going well. I am not having any troubles right now.
Good, good. At least things haven't gotten worse, right? So, did you hear what happened the other day? The professor, really.
Caspar.
Oh, whoa, okay, there's no need for that.
You are the son of my father's killer. That means I must be killing you and taking revenge.
What? I thought you said it wasn't a big deal. We're not our parents and all that.
Your optimism is not making sense. It is not possible that you are not having hatred for me. My father was killed. By the Empire. By your father. And so I will be impaling you on this blade to be satisfying a deep wish of mine.
A deep wish? What are you talking about?
I am talking about my wish. Of course, I am also having another wish. An even deeper wish. I wish for you and I to keep being friends. To keep fighting and surviving together. When you are speaking of your father, it is with a proud smile that injures my heart. But that is only a small thing. You also are working harder than anyone I am knowing, so I can't bring myself to be killing you.
I see. So you do hate me because of what happened, but you still want to be my friend? You haven't stabbed me yet, so you obviously want me to live more than you want me to die. I hope.
That must be the truth. More than all of it, I am not wishing to be losing you. It would give me great sadness.
Oh, okay, that's a relief. I don't want to lose you either, and I definitely don't want to fight you. To be honest, if things were the other way around, I don't think I'd be able to forgive you. I'd hate you, and I'd hate myself for feeling that way.
Caspar.
But you're not like that. You see me as your ally and your friend. You had the chance to kill me, but you used it to show me that you want me to live. You really are an incredible person, Petra. I want to be more like you. I want to prove that I'm a good friend. I promise, you won't regret letting me live.
You have my gratitude for your understanding. Hearing your words gives me great happiness. I was always feeling a barrier between our hearts. I am sure I was also the one putting it there. But from now onward, I will be sharing all of my heart with you. My grief and anger, joy and love, all of it.
I'd like that, Petra. From now on, we'll be more honest and open with each other.
Hey, Caspar. Can I ask you something?
Well, hey there, Annette. What's on your mind?
Is there anything you pay particular attention to on the battlefield? stuff you make sure not to mess up? I don't want to make any major mistakes again. So I've been thinking about how I can improve. But it's trickier than I thought. I was hoping you could give me some direction.
Nothing I can think of. Sometimes you just gotta mess up.
Hmm? Really? Nothing at all?
Nah, no matter how much you prepare, you're always gonna make mistakes. All you can do is quit worrying and try your best.
I guess that does sound like something you'd say. But I'm not sure how much use it is to me.
That's too bad. It's a great way to live. You worry about messing up, and all that worry makes you nervous, right? So being nervous on the battlefield is the reason you make mistakes you'd never make in training.
Well, yes. People's lives are on the line. If I mess up, they might actually die. When I think that my failures might put everyone in danger,
Ugh, you gotta quit doubting yourself. It's not helping. You're obsessing about failures that haven't even happened. What's the point in that? Sometimes you're gonna mess up no matter how hard you train. That's life.
So what you're saying is, I should stop being afraid of failure and just try my hardest on the battlefield, like I do in training.
Was I not clear on that? You just gotta deal with your mistakes when you make them.
That really is just like you, Caspar. I'm starting to feel stupid for worrying so much. You're so strong and confident. I really like that about you.
Aw, thanks, Annette. I think you're great too.
Okay, I'm gonna try following your example from now on. It's time I stopped moping around here and put everything I've got into training. Right, Caspar?
That's the spirit. Let's get out there and train. I'll race you to the stables.
Yeah!
Over here, Petra.
Ash, I do not have familiarity with this alley.
That's all right. This is the place I was talking about. It's not much to look at, but the food's incredible.
Here you are, friends. Enjoy your meal.
Looks great. Let's dig in.
Okay, I will be giving this my try. Oh, it has a delicious flavor. Ash, what is this dish being called?
I'm not sure it has a name. They just kind of throw together whatever they've got. But that means you never eat the same dish twice. Not knowing what you'll get is part of the fun.
A dish of infinite varieties. You would not be finding such a wonder in a restaurant for nobles. A commoner technique indeed. I give you my gratitude, Ash. I have learned a great many things about the commoner techniques.
No need to be so formal. I like showing you around. Not many people want to come to places like this.
But I am feeling that our deal has been very... one-sided. Are you sure you are not needing anything in exchange? If you are not wanting any curses, I can offer other information in trade.
Hey, come on, stop that.
Stop that? What am I stopping?
Talking about payment. You don't owe me anything. We're friends, aren't we? Friends don't pay each other for the time they spend together.
You and I are friends? Are you speaking truth?
I hope so, at least. So why don't we just talk about whatever we'd like, okay?
I have understanding. I will now be speaking whatever I wish. You are my friend. There are many things I am wishing for you to know.
I finally have a day all on my own. A day inside my room. At last I feel as free as a bird that's flown.
Bernadetta, do you have a moment?
I wasn't looking at their hats, I swear! And if I was, I wouldn't say a word about them. Not even if you tortured me. Mercy, please! I can keep a secret honest!
Hold on. It's me, Alois. Calm down.
Huh? Oh, Eloise! I was sure you'd, never mind.
I can't help but wonder about these hats you were looking at. But I'll set that aside for now. I wanted to apologize for being insensitive. I can't believe I trampled on your emotions like that.
Huh? Was there something you did? I don't remember anything.
About your dear uncle. It never crossed my mind that he might have passed away.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it.
But it clearly upset you. I can't even express how guilty I feel about opening an old wound like that. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's okay. You're reminding me of him even now. And it's completely fine. I'm glad we talked about it.
Is that so? Well then, why did you look so sad when I mentioned him?
The truth is, I realized I hadn't visited my uncle's grave in a long time. With me not showing up for so long, I imagined him being worried about me.
I see. He must have been quite dear to you.
Hey, that gives me a great idea. Why don't we go see my uncle together sometime?
You want me to visit your uncle's grave, but I don't have any connection with him.
Sure you do. You're connected by me.
I didn't think of that. All right then, I accept. If you don't mind my tagging along, I'll gladly accompany you.
Great! Thanks, Uncle... thanks, Aloise.
Ah, Bernadetta, have you finished your illustrations?
Yes, I have. Finally. This is the first time I've ever made anything for a real-life book. I was up all night finishing these. Bernie's all burned out now. I guess if they're no good, we'll just have to burn them all, huh?
Let's leave the topic of burning aside for now, shall we? Show me what you've done.
So, what do you think?
This is excellent work. The color, especially. It truly brings your art to life. I will see that the new edition of our book is added to the Garrigmach collection.
Really? Oh, that's such a relief. It was a tough job, but yeah, there's nothing Bernie can't handle.
You certainly do have some impressive mood swings. Actually, there is one thing I'd like to discuss.
Oh no, what did I get wrong?
Relax. I simply wanted to ask you about this last image. This is you here, is it not?
Yes. Is that wrong? What's wrong with it?
Nothing at all. I'm only curious. Does that make me the person standing beside you?
Oh, no, that's St. Keyhole.
Is that so? Then I must ask, what relationship are you suggesting you have with him?
Well, I got the impression that the story of St. Indek was told from St. Keyhole's point of view. So I just imagined that I asked St. Keyhole about it. And, that's where the picture came from. I guess I overdid it, huh? That's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. We can scrap it. Let's just get rid of it.
Ah, so that's why. That's amusing.
It is?
Very much. And I think this is a very fitting end to the book, actually. St. Keyhole and Bernadetta. They would have made quite an interesting pair, I think. In fact, if the two of you had lived in the same time, I am certain you would share a deep bond.
What? St. Keyhole and me? No way. I've already got my hands full just trying to be friends with you. But I've managed that at least, right? Haven't I?
Absolutely.
What's the use? Even with all I've learned, I still don't understand.
Hello, Constance. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just in need of a sympathetic ear. I found the magical scroll, which, unless I am mistaken, should relieve me of my woes.
Oh, wonderful!
Not so fast. The magic within this scroll is a type I have neglected to study. It pains me to admit this, but it may take decades of going back to the basics to grasp it.
Decades? That's a long time to spend with your nose buried in an old piece of parchment.
Why must the goddess dangle a solution before me, only to cruelly pull it away?
There's no need to despair. To tell the truth, I like you just as you are.
You do? Why? Those low moods of mine have never done anyone the least bit of good.
You're like a little sister to me. Nothing you do will change that, not even a little bit.
Really?
Of course, you're my sweet Constance, and I like you just as you are.
I see. Perhaps my moods are not the great burden I thought they were.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pressure you. No matter what decision you make, I support you.
I felt no pressure, I assure you. It's more that I feel embarrassed to have been embarrassed. I'd put so much effort into finding a magical means to alleviate myself that it never occurred to me that maybe all I needed was to accept myself.
What will you do with the scroll you found?
Oh, I'll continue to research it, for research's sake if nothing else, but I may have no need of it. It's not as if these moods of mine have ever hampered my efforts to restore my house. And I am as a sister to you, no matter which face I present, yes? Nothing, no mood, no foe, no obligation, will keep me from honoring my sisterly duty to protect you.
We can protect each other.
Good, it is settled. Now we can begin the hard work of reclaiming our titles.
Absolutely. We'll become sister sages and restore our houses to their former glory.
You understand the plan perfectly. If we walk this path together, it can only end in triumph.
Finally, you've arrived. I was beginning to get impatient. Have a seat.
What are you on about?
I'm not on about anything. Let's have dinner together, Yuri.
What is this? Did you make it?
I did. It's a simple dish. My culinary skills are fairly basic.
Hold on. What exactly is this about?
You cook for me, I cook for you. That's how this works. It may not be quite as elegant a meal as that of Adrestian or Leicester cuisine, but the food of Fargus is delicious nonetheless.
Thank you for the meal. It was lovely, Ingrid. The flavors were nostalgic. Reminded me of when I lived with my mother and the Elder. I was actually born in a poor town in Fargus. The flavors in this dish remind me of those days. Sorry. I didn't mean to compare a meal made by nobility with the meager food I grew up eating.
No offense taken. To tell the truth, although my house is a noble one, it's also lacking in money. Our territory was struck by famine, and we ate whatever the land gave us, which wasn't much. We took what we could, just like everyone.
I see. Well, I must say that your cooking is quite to my taste. Any meal made with so much thought and care is bound to be delicious.
Why, thank you. High praise indeed, from someone who knows their way around a kitchen.
To survive in this world means to sharpen many skills, whether it's cooking or anything else, really. Although I've got to say, I do enjoy cooking. And if my meals can bring a smile to someone's face, all the better. Celebrating victories with friends, sitting around a table with loved ones, watching someone enjoy the meal I made them. Few things bring me more joy.
Have you ever considered giving up being the Lord of the Underworld and becoming a chef instead?
A chef, huh? You know, That doesn't sound half bad.
If you ever do, I'd come to your restaurant and eat whatever you'd whipped up every day.
I'd like that very much. I'd work extra hard so I could see that lovely smile of yours.
You are just too much. I can hardly maintain my composure around you.
Did I say something wrong?
Not at all, Yuri. Not at all.
Hilda? I wanted to thank you for helping me in the infirmary. I brought you these pastries.
Ooh, thanks. I'll put some tea on. Have a seat.
That sounds lovely. But I also wanted to apologize for always causing you such trouble.
It's no trouble. No trouble at all. Everything tastes better with friends, don't you think? I give you help, you give me sweets, we have a little tea party. It's a good arrangement, I'd say. I'm used to it now, so if it changed suddenly, I would feel disoriented.
I suppose if you're enjoying yourself, then it can't be that bad.
Sure, you don't seem to mind listening while I gab, so I'm enjoying myself plenty. But do let me know if I'm too boring.
No, you're not boring at all. In fact, you're, very good at talking. You're also good with your hands. You can clean and organize better than almost anyone. I envy you.
Oh, stop. I'm blushing. I'm not as great as all that. We're both a lot different on the inside than we look on the outside, don't you think?
How do you mean?
People who see you think you're so proper, but you're actually clumsy. That's why I help you, because there are some things you just can't do.
I'm sorry you always have to clean up after me.
I didn't say I hated it. In fact, you've taught me a few new techniques I can use to persuade people. Maybe I'll start imitating you a little bit. I'll do the Marianne. That sheepish, sorry, and those quavering downcast eyes. But that might not work as well for me. People would probably assume that I'd hit my head.
Oh, well...
Aw, Mary Ann laughing at me. So rude and yet so adorable.
I'm so sorry. I just can't help it. When I imagine you doing those things, I...
Yeah. It's rather un-Hilda-like, I'll admit. Okay, that's enough laughing.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, are you all right? That tea's hot, Marianne. Be careful.
Yes. Oh, ouch, hot.
Come on, what did I...
I know, I'm sorry. Ow, hot.
Oh boy, a real steady hand, that Marianne. It's nice to see her laugh. Sure, she was laughing at me, but how can I get mad when she looks so dang cute?
Little Lysithia. These ears miss nothing, you know.
What are you on about this time?
Is it true that Count Ordelia plans to relinquish his title eventually?
Yes, but why are you asking?
I approve, that's all. Throwing off the shackles of nobility to live freely, it's a beautiful thing.
I would ask that you refrain from painting them with the same brushstrokes that you so liberally paint yourself with. My mother and father will carry on with all the associated duties befitting of nobles. Only after that will they retire.
Got it. And that's completely different from someone like me who tapped out of the nobility game, right? Your parents are exemplary nobles, that's for sure. I respect that you support them as much as you do.
Would you just stop? You're embarrassing me.
Can't be helped. Meant every word. If anyone should have red cheeks, it's me, given the choices I've made.
I'm sure you had your reasons.
Of course. Still, it is a bit cowardly of me not to stand up to my family a bit more. Honestly, it's since getting to know you that I've started thinking along those lines. One day soon I'll return to that house. My reception will be chilly at best. Still, it must be done. My house is full of lowlifes. But it also has my little bro, who took over when I left. He's good people. Even with the difficulties in Leicester, our house is still going strong. That's his doing. That's why I've decided that it's time to talk to him about what can be done to help Count Ordelia.
Repaying your perceived debt would be nice, sure. But it sounds like you intend to foist your responsibility onto your little brother.
Ah, but the two aren't related. This is just the right thing to do. I'm still pondering how best to fulfill my vow.
Uh-huh.
Well, you don't believe me, do you, little lady?
Just what exactly are you planning on in terms of this repayment?
After your family relinquishes their noble titles, I'll support them so that you can all live in peace.
Even though you're a lowlife?
That may be true, and it is, but consider this. I've seen life from both sides, as a noble and a vagabond. When their situation changes, they'll face new challenges. I'm the perfect guy to help them through.
You're irresponsible and unreliable. But clearly, you're not a bad person. And your support would be most appreciated. Just so you're aware, however, we have no means with which to pay you. So, are you sure you're still willing to follow through with this?
I wasn't planning on doing this for a payout, but if you really insisted on a thank you gift, well, you could always accept me into your family. Then paying me wouldn't be a consideration.
Excuse me? Just what are you insinuating?
Don't think too hard about it just yet. I still have lots of debts to pay and affairs to settle. In the meantime, let's just stick close together. Yeah? Here! Here! Huh?
Baldy? Still training at this hour? How unexpectedly diligent of you.
Ah, Hilda! How are things? Anything of note to report?
No? I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, I don't know. You haven't been approached by any lovelorn goons lately, have you?
Now that you mention it, it's been a few days since any guys have flirted with me.
Fantastic! They got the hint.
Whoa, wait a second. Are you pulling some weird prank on me?
Of course not. I'm just doing my best to keep my promise to Holst, that's all.
Oh, not this again. That was ages ago. I'm sure my brother's forgotten all about it.
Dead wrong, pal. I actually had the chance to see him recently, and he had a new request for me.
What? He told you to get rid of any guys who show interest in me so that I stay his innocent little sister forever?
That sounds more like Sedith than Holst, don't you think?
Fair point. What was the request?
Guys here have the gall to consider you a potential bride. It's my job to test them, see if they're worthy.
I don't like where this is going.
Since Holst isn't here to do the honors, I've spread the word that nobody is fit to marry you unless they can defeat the great king of grappling in a fight.
What? That's exactly the same as getting rid of them!
How so? It only eliminates the guys who are dumb enough to take up the challenge.
No one is that dumb. No one around here thinks they can beat the stupendous king of grappling or whatever.
That's why I leveled the playing field by allowing sneak attacks. Plenty have already tried their luck. One guy actually tried to strangle me in my sleep.
Wow, a sleep strangler. He sounds like husband material.
And that's why I've been training so much. Can't let you end up with some weakling after all.
This is madness! If you keep getting stronger, there won't be anyone who fits the bill.
True. You could spend your whole life searching and never find a match for Balthus the Great. The only people who stand a chance are Holst and me.
To prove that you're worthy of my hand in marriage, you're going to fight yourself?
I always knew I was my own worst enemy. One day I'll finally meet my equal in battle. Me.
So you're going to punch yourself out? Is that your idea of a romantic gesture?
When that fateful day arrives, Hilda, I want you to know that I intend to keep my word.
Huh. A girl could do worse, I suppose.
Flame.
Here to pester me, brother?
No, I think I'm the one who ought to be pestered.
Regardless of what I say to you, it is not as though it has any effect in reducing your worry over me.
That is true. No matter where you are, and no matter what you're doing, I will always worry. But that's only because I treasure you so very much. Please understand, I'm not trying to hurt you.
Of that I am well aware. I am touched that you care so deeply. When I think of it, it is my own fault that you have become so overprotective. I cannot blame you.
No, the fault is entirely mine. You were still so young. I placed far too much strain on you, and our lack of resources was no excuse. Worse, I failed to watch you during the battle. Your mother, too. We lost her because of me. Afterward, it broke my heart to see how much you would need to rest just to survive. I swore that I would dedicate every moment remaining in my life to your protection.
Ever since then, I have been afraid of falling asleep. My fear of sleeping is outmatched only by my fear of spending my life alone. Even if it cannot last, I want to live among my peers as one of them, as an ordinary person. Similar to how you and Mother coexisted with your own comrades back then, fighting side by side.
Quite right. I know you must leave the nest someday. No matter how many ages our lives may span, I know that's the way of it.
Father...
Don't.
Nobody is listening, Father. Let me address you as such just this once. I have valued the quiet days you and I have spent alone together, but I am no longer a child. Just as you and Mother met one another, and eventually I was brought into the world, I
know. Please, no more. No matter what happens, you are my daughter. It gives me great joy to see you grow. But please, at least until this war is over, let me continue to worry. You're the most precious person in my life. I can't bear the thought of losing you.
It seems I have no choice in the matter. I shall allow you to worry about me enough for yourself and Mother both. But only that much and no more, my dear Father Keyhole.
Thank you, Sethlene.
Setith?
Hello, Manuela. Is something the matter?
You surprised me is all. Though not as surprised as you when you found me here before. I've never seen you offering up prayers so solemnly.
I suppose I do typically make an effort to come here when no one else is around. Many look to me for guidance. I do not wish to disturb anyone's prayers with my own. But I did not come here only to pray.
Really? Then what were you doing?
I was swearing an oath to Saint Sethlene. She is a special figure to me. It's become part of my routine to swear this oath before her likeness. More than any other, she wishes for a peaceful world. I believe it is my duty to grant her wish.
I had no idea you held such a passionate, secret devotion, Setith. The legends of Saint Sethlene do depict her as a kind, proper, and honorable woman. And she was so gentle and quiet,
really kept to herself. It's no wonder you're infatuated with her.
I think you may have misunderstood me.
It must be very lonely to be so in love with someone from the distant past.
She is very special to me, yes, but not in that way.
You don't have to hide it from me, Sedith. I can keep a secret. But people from the past are gone. No matter how much you care for her, she can't love you back. Now then, if you turned your eyes to me, I could respond to your deepest, most powerful feelings.
You are completely mistaken.
Manuela, do you recall what you told me? You mentioned that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, then its shadows will be darker too.
You sound so worried. That was nothing, dear. Call it a joke.
It most certainly did not sound like a joke. Can you please elaborate? Of course, I love hearing about your glamorous past performing on stage. But all that glamour doesn't account for the shadows you spoke of.
Well, I suppose I could share a little. Here's the thing about the opera. Talent isn't enough to earn you a position in a glamorous show. You need money, connections, and, failing those, the stomach to commit a spot of violence. I spent many nights buttering up nobles in power. No matter how humiliating the task, I'd do it because I wanted to be a star. I hope that kind of talk isn't too shocking for a sweet girl like yourself. Are you disillusioned with me now that you know my sordid past?
Not at all. Understanding you more deeply, I can see how much strength has been required of you all this time.
Flayn.
I am well aware that survival and striving for dreams sometimes means doing things we would not normally do. Perhaps because you have been so strong, lived with such conviction. Perhaps that is why your songs have touched so many people's hearts.
Oh, you sound very wise all of a sudden. Thank you, Flayn.
I would like to rescind my original request of you.
Your request to hear one of my songs?
Indeed. Instead, I have a different request. I would like to see you perform an opera on stage.
I don't know about that. It's been a long time since I stood on stage.
I imagine you have experienced much since you left the opera company. It follows then that you have developed new insights, charm, and wisdom to share.
Yes, I probably could play a tragic role even better now than I could back then. But it's hardly the time for operas. We need to put an end to this war first.
Agreed. Let us make the curtain fall on this war as soon as possible.
Maybe then we can raise the curtain on a brand new performance. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That is exactly what I yearn for.
Why did you bring me here? It's so isolated.
That would be the point.
Yikes. See you around, B.
Hang on a second. Out here, in a place like this, you should be free to sigh, yeah?
What do you mean by that?
I just thought it would do you well to cut loose and sigh to your heart's content.
Really? You found a nice quiet place where you could annoy me without putting bystanders at risk?
Why does this always happen? That's not what I meant. This is me doing something nice for you. You said before that you can't ever relax because you're worried about endangering others. A lot's been going on recently, so let her rip already. Sigh until you can sigh no more.
That's nice of you. A chance to relax and sigh as I please. Sounds good. But what do we do about the monsters?
What do you think? A monster shows up, I punch it in the nose. Done deal.
By yourself?
I'm never alone, pal. These two fists are always by my side, and they never let me down.
Oh, right.
It doesn't have to be here if you have performance anxiety, but anytime you accidentally call a monster, just holler and I'll punch it to next Tuesday. In fact, maybe it's best if you just stick by my side from now on. Do that and you're free to sigh whenever the urge strikes.
Why would I have to stay by your side?
Not a lot of people in this world can knock out a beast without breaking a sweat. I'm one of them. And since I'm always on the run from bounty hunters, I'm an exceptionally light sleeper.
You expect me to sleep by your side too?
Ooh, this may be my best idea yet. If I'm always with a monster summoner, fewer people will come after my bounty. This is brilliant.
You never change, B. You're so predictable. All right, have fun.
Have fun? That's an odd thing to do! Monsters, they're everywhere! This is gonna be a blast!
It's hard not to like that dummy.